Good afternoon. This is Jonathan from Casco Manufacturing. So this, I hate to say it, this is a food plot failure. You know, I really, really hate to say that, but after planting, we have literally had no rain. If you take a look at this ground, it is literally bone dry. I'm gonna grab a handful here just to show you. This is what I'm working with. And there's no rain in the 10-day forecast. The first plot that we showed you was definitely a failure. You know, we've had no rain for over a month now. We worked that ground pretty good, you know, as the new plot, and I wanted to go ahead and work it, get everything worked up and cleaned up, and we planted, but like I said, we've had no rain, very little germination, and it's actually just on the other side of this fence row. Now, on this side, we did pretty well. You know, this is a lower area. We planted this Egyptian wheat and sun hemp early on. It did great. I mean, a lot of this stuff is 12, 15 feet tall. You know, we've got the sun hemp in there. We've got soybeans, the Roundup Ready forage soybeans. They've done great. This plot, we mowed and interseeded into all of these paths. So we've got all the shooting lanes all carved out. We're gonna do a little bit of trim work, but this plot was a success. I wanted to show you both. You know, not every plot is gonna be perfect every time. You know, when you guys look at the TV shows and the YouTubes and stuff, I hate to say it, but most of what you see is what they want you to see. They show you, they cherry pick the very best plots, the very best angles. You know, we're not that way. I want to show you everything. You know, in the real world, sometimes you don't have rain. You know, Mother Nature, you know, she can help you or hurt you. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. You know, this is exactly what you don't want. Go ahead and snap that off. Clean up your lane. That being said, I'll probably come through here with a corn knife and go ahead and clean this up. But as you can see, the deer walks through here, doesn't really have a chance. Got a nice little trail for access right beside the blind here. I'm gonna step on in. It's important to have this stuff cleared out, you know. It's great to brush the blind in, but you've got to be able to get in here and you got to be able to do it quietly, you know. There's got to be a happy medium between cover and, you know, stealthness. You've got to be able to get in here quietly. If you make a bunch of noise, you're going to blow out every deer in this bedding area, which is right beside us. So, you know, when you're going into a plot like this and you know there's deer bedded down, you have to take every precaution you can and do everything that you can think of to make sure that you get in there safe, quiet, and you're not bumping deer. So, we're in the blind now. I am going to clean up just a little bit. I haven't done anything since I actually mowed these paths and planted them. Probably come through and just clean them up, square them up a little bit. You don't want to have, you know, one of these Egyptian wheat stalks hanging over and catching your arrow, you know, 30 yards down the trail before you hit a deer. You know, not saying it would be a deal breaker, but a lot of this, you know, Egyptian wheat, sun hemp has a heavy stalk to it. So if you hit one of those stalks with your arrow, it's most likely going to send it in a direction that you don't want it to go. So if we can clean these up just a little bit, clear it out, we're going to have perfect shooting lanes. I've got 4 of them. I mean, this is my entrance and, you know, obviously a shooting lane. We've got one straight out, a third, and then even a 4th here to the left, you know, or to the south. So if you come through here in any which way, I'm going to have your number. Unless you're out there further than I feel comfortable shooting, which I've got these lanes all set to about 60 yards. So there's nowhere on any of these lanes that I'm not going to feel comfortable shooting. Being on the ground, you know, I like to have a little bit of concealment. I've always been a stand hunter. It's been the last year or 2 that I've started using these ground blinds and box blinds for that matter. I've had one for a few years, but I've just always been a lock on or even a ladder. You know, I kind of like the single man ladder as long as you place it correctly and it's not sticking out like a sore thumb. You can really tuck some of those back in and get them in some good spots. My go-to is a bow and arrow. That's where I, you know, that's where I shine. That's where I, you know, feel most comfortable in the woods, is with the bow and arrow. close quarters. You know, that's just, to me, that's deer hunting. To be able to shoot a deer, you know, with a bow and have it within, you know, have it within 40 yards, you know, you've got to have all your all your ducks in a row. You've got to be proficient with that bow and arrow. You got some pretty good nerves, you know. You've got to be able to calm your nerves and not get too excited, you know, might pull or yank a shot if you're twitching when you draw back. But all in all, I feel like I'm just more of a bow hunter than anything else, and I try to make all setups, even if they are a gun spot, you know, suitable for bow hunting, because I do way more bow hunting than anything else, and that's just my passion. So that's why we do the plots. That's why we do the small kill plots, and hopefully this year we'll get one on film, and I can really show you firsthand what we're doing out here and why we're doing it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned this fall, and good luck out there. Hopefully you get a good one this year.